Hi, my name is Jen Ortman, and I'm from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I have been in the business about 15 years, and I actually have already done one House Hunters episode before. This is my third audition for my clients, and I think it's a really fun process. It can be grueling, and I walked Kim and Hugh when they first met me and they found out that I was on House Hunters. They right away went straight to, how do we get on that? What do we do? And I kind of explained to them the process and how long it took, and they were a little blown away. So very fun, though. I really liked doing it before, and I said, sure, let's try it again. So here we are. Kim and Hugh, awesome couple, a lot of fun. His accent absolutely cracks me up. They really are like yin and yang. They get along great. It's been really fun working with them. I think the first challenge we came into was trying to get their current house sold. There were a lot of stops and starts where we thought it was sold, and we went out looking, and they found the perfect house, and they fell in love, and then their deal fell apart, and then we had to start from scratch. So especially Kim, I think there were a couple houses along the way that really broke her heart and felt like it was never going to happen. So kind of keeping her calm through the process and keeping her engaged and making sure her spirits were up was definitely a challenge that I worked on that in the end it all came together. But when you're going through the whole thing, it's such an emotional roller coaster that it can be really, really tough. Hugh, on the other hand, was a little more easygoing. He was kind of hard to read. I didn't necessarily know what he loved and what he didn't love. It was pretty easy to tell, though, that he really wanted a big house. They have 4 kids, and 2 live full-time with them, 2 are part-time with them, but he would love to have had a room for every single one of them. Any big house we walked into with a big open floor plan, he'd say, this is it, I love it, I love it. Versus Kim really had some specific criteria, and it seemed like every big house, because their price range was this low, and they wanted to be right here price-wise, it didn't quite match up. So the big houses always had some huge functional issue that made them pretty much unviable. Like one house, for instance, which a lot of it was great. It was this massive house with like 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. I don't even know. It was so big, and had this tiny 1-car garage. And I had to kind of walk them through why that would never work with 4 kids. So things like that along the way were kind of fun and challenging. Kim, on the other hand, knew exactly what she wanted from day one. Unfortunately, it was impossible to find in her price range. Her number one criteria, she has this big, beautiful walk-in closet right now, and she wanted a walk-in closet so bad. So we kept on, every house we go into, we'd open up and we'd tiny little closet, tiny little closet, tiny little closet. In the end, we finally found a 5-bedroom house that I showed her right away, where she could go knock through a wall and go into another bedroom and have her big walk-in closet. And I think like that sold it for her. She was done. That was the house that she wanted. Some of the other things that they really wanted were they wanted it remodeled and all the mechanicals updated. That was really important to Kim as well. But it's very hard to find, once again, their price range, something completely remodeled and something having all the mechanicals done. We were finding a lot of houses that were remodeled and then they kind of did a crappy job, I have to say, on the mechanicals, or like they were a flip and all the cosmetic stuff was done, but all the hard part, like the roof and the windows and the AC and furnace, those weren't touched. Or we walk in and the roof and the AC and the furnace were all done, but the windows weren't done, and the kitchen needs to be remodeled, and the bathroom needs to be remodeled. So it was hard finding that happy medium in their price range. The other thing too, they have a tiny outdoor space right now. It's beautiful, and Hugh's a mason, and he did this beautiful brick patio, but unfortunately, it was hard to find, nice outdoor space as well, and a fenced yard because they have dogs. So these were kind of all the things that we were trying to find in a house, and house after house that we went into, it had maybe 1 thing or 2 things, but it was really hard to find all of them. They were getting a little bit discouraged, and I think were not at each other's throats because they can't really see that, but they were definitely conflicting on what they thought they wanted, because like I said, he wanted the big house and she wanted the like cute remodeled house that had these specific rooms. So right about the time that we were all ready to throw up our arms because they had to find a place, we had their house sold, we were out looking at every house on the market day after day after day. When we had literally exhausted all of them on that day, we had seen 6 or 7 houses. I went back into the MLS and this house had popped up that day on a busier street. They were very hesitant to see it, but I knew it kind of had all the space that they were talking about, and it was on a corner, and I thought there wouldn't even be a backyard. But when we got there, there was this huge fenced backyard, this big porch, all the rooms that they wanted, a room for her. She does this hand painting of furniture. There was a room for her to do that. There was a room for him to tinker. There was attached 2-car garage. There was a 5th bedroom where she can make her walk-in closet, a master suite. I mean, it literally had everything they wanted and was in their price range, which was kind of like a miracle at this point. So wrote the offer as quickly as we could. It had to be contingent on the sale of their house, which was the other huge challenge because it had been on the market literally 1 hour. But we got the other agent talked into the fact that the sale of their house was super solid. We went in at full price and just went in aggressive and got it. So I think they're really excited about the new house and getting everything settled and ready to go and making her big walk-in closet. And we're excited about having it closed, obviously. So I really think you guys should strongly consider them. They have a lot of banter, which I think is really fun and good. They feed off of each other. They just have great fun personalities. Having gone through the process before, I can say that I think they'd be really great candidates, and hopefully you'll